Washington.
This is Martin for here once again. What's going on, people out there in the YouTube land? This is your boy Jamar84 here once again. And really quick before we get into this, because I have to record this and another video after this. Quickly, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody, all my subscribers, Twitter followers, Instagram followers who wish me well and give me positive vibes while I was in the hospital. It really kind of made, the experience a lot less lonely in a sense. The people were cheering for my, health and well-being. So for those of you who did reach out to me, I really do appreciate it. And it touched me. Yeah, thank you guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much for all your support thus far. So now we're going to try to get back into the swing of things here. I know I'm a little late with these videos, but we're going to get to it regardless, okay? So, I'd watched the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reunion, I think a couple nights ago. Not the reunion. What is it? The finale. And honestly, it really didn't feel much like a finale. It just kind of felt like a regular episode that just so happened to be the end of the season, to be honest with you. Because I don't know. It just seemed like the overall season was just kind of meh. It's like the first, well, I know at least the first two were a hell of a lot more interesting, but I don't know. Anyways, so we start off where we left off last time. Did I get to review last week? I didn't do last week's because I was still in the hospital. Jessica Dime and that bald head girl, what's her name? Tangerine. Margo, Mango, Margo, Tangerine, Kiwi, whatever her name is going to be this week, because I could be calling her anything when her name comes up in my mind. She do this song, Start a War. Now, the song is actually semi-decent, to be honest, but since Jessica Dime was to have a vendetta against Mimi, and this, Jessica Dime, we've already had this discussion, girl. You shot your own self in the foot with that from that Jazzy Faye thing that went on that Mimi booked you before. Like, she was actually trying to do something with you, and he was actually feeling you at that time. But since you wanted to run off at the mouth at Tiffany Fox, it just set a bad taste in her mouth. And I don't really feel like you understand that. I just feel like you think that, oh, she's just doing me wrong. She's doing me wrong. She's doing you wrong because you sit there and went off in a professional setting. So now she's kind of like, if I'm going to be managing you, I need to be able to trust that you ain't going to act a fool when I try to, represent you, But they do this performance. Jessica Dime's titties are out for some reason. And everybody's been talking about Jessica Dime's ass. That shit is just, like, plain ridiculous. Like, it makes no sense for you to just take who knows what kind of materials and just shove it in. It's not cute. I know y'all want to be having these Nicki Minaj type bodies or these, Coca-Cola bottle shapes, but sometimes y'all just do that shit overboard and it's not even cute. Like, a lot of men have said, like, asses like that, they're just kind of fun to make fun of, but they're not something that they're going to really be like, oh my God, I have to get with that bitch. Like, no. If anything, they're just going to use you as a fucking fuck toy and then, discard you like a used condom. But I digress. The performance was and Mimi was just sitting there looking like, I know this bitch didn't just bring this bald-headed hoe up here.
It's 12 o'clock.
I don't have time for her. I know she didn't just bring this old bald-headed, 2K looking bitch on the stage at my booking. But, so they go outside after the thing, and they're all excited and shit that they done got Mimi back. But I'm just like, I don't really see how this was like a revenge or getting Mimi back, because if Mimi booked the gig, that means Mimi's getting paid for the gig. And if she brought Margo onto the stage and she didn't, like, sabotage it and she tried to do well, then doesn't that put more money in Mimi's pocket? I mean, it's more like you helped her than harmed her. She didn't really suffer from this performance, so whatever. So we move on forward. That Stevie J and them, they had that whole fight outside, that staged ass shit. Y'all know any fight that has all that lighting and cameras and shit, it's like, okay, cut, Move over here, Stevie J. Jessica Dime, you turn this way, and action, you know. Just like when the Stevie J and Niko fight, like it ended with like Stevie J or Niko tackling them, and then we come back, and then they go pretend like that tackle didn't happen. So y'all got your editing fucked up. But Kalina's in the studio, and I finally get to hear Kalina sing, because I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day. I'm like, what does Kalina sound like when she sings? She looks like she could sing, and she could hold a note or two, especially since she was in the group with Diddy and Dawn. So I'm like, she looks like she could, but I just never actually heard her by herself. And I saw her in the studio. I'm like, oh, that was cute. That was actually kind of nice. Okay, I'm gonna need you to put out some music. I think she did put out a song. Love and Hip Hop did, like, you know how they showcase the music, they say, now that you've heard it, go get it or something. But I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I wish for you the best, girl. So one of these things that, you know, they want to end this season out with was Stevie J's whole thing about moving to LA with Jocelyn. So Stevie's like, okay, I've been in rehab. Jocelyn been fucking around, messing around with other producers that I know, going behind my back. Even, you know, I don't feel like, I don't want to go on this tangent, but I'm just gonna say this right quick. It's so interesting how people will express to you how much they hate when you do something, and then turn around and do the same thing, and when you react the same way they did, they look at you like you crazy. I just had to say that because I just don't understand that. But anyway, I digress again. So Stevie J meets up with Eva and Mimi at her house, and he's pretty much like, so I have a proposition for you. Since, you know, I don't want to leave you, and, you know, the only steady relationship I've ever had with a woman in my life is with my daughter. I'm like, really? Maybe? I don't know. But she was like, so when she said, what if I move you out to LA? And then Mimi was like, so what about your wife? And he goes into the whole thing about with Jocelyn and this, that, and the fourth. And I'm just like, they want to fuck so bad that I don't know if they want to be together. I think they both know that they can't really be together, but they just want to fuck so bad. They really do. Mimi, you can't tell me Mimi don't want to fuck, because when he was first saying that he was moving out to LA, you could see that she was, you know, not happy about it, even though she talks all that shit. And then when he was talking about moving her to LA, she kind of brightened up and was like, oh, well, I mean, but what about your wife, though? If we fucking, what is she gonna think? You know, that's just how I viewed it. But she gonna try to make it seem like, oh, I'm gonna think about it, knowing damn well as soon as that camera's cut off, she started packing the bags. But anywho, moving right along, Niko and Margo, who really didn't see this coming. As soon as, well, anyway, let's talk about what happened. So she gets to the gym, I guess, meeting what's that boy name? Niko. And she completely bald-headed now, bitch. But anyway, so she gonna say, you know, I was telling you I was seeing someone, but I wasn't completely truthful about it, and blah blah blah. And she was like, basically, you know, who I'm seeing is a she. And Niko was like, really, bitch? And you know what? That's what I've always thought about. It's like, when you're either a man or a woman, if you're in a heterosexual relationship, and you break up with, you know, whomever it is that you're dating, and they tell you that they're seeing somebody else that's the same sex and that they love them, I can't imagine what that feels like. Because it's like, usually when, you know, your ex or somebody, you know, you compare yourself, like, is their dick bigger than mine? Are their tits bigger than mine? Is their ass fatter than mine? You know, something along the same levels. But when you say, like in Niko's position, your woman just fell in love with another bitch, it's like, what do you do? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, you could... somebody who doesn't even have a dick somehow pleasures her more than you. It's just like, it feels like it would just be like ultimately just defeating. But so she tells me that she's, you know, in love with a girl, and I'm just like, girl, we knew that as soon as we saw you on screen. I was like, this is the girl they're trying to, you know, portray as Niko's wife? Oh, okay. Well, I'll go along with this right now, Mona. But other than that, I was just like, what? I mean, is this going to be her storyline? Is this trying to be like her guaranteed spot on next season? Because you know they tried to put the gay Milan Christopher and his partner on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, which is going to come on, I think, the day after Labor Day or the day of Labor Day. And so I'm like, are they going to try to have like a lesbian couple next season for Atlanta with Margo and them? Are we going to care? Especially since Love and Hip Hop Atlanta may not come back to like April or May of next year. Are we going to care? Yeah, we'll have to see. But I am going to be watching Hollywood just to see how that whole gay shit worked out. Because all the other bitches on there trying to be shady, like Omarion and Fizz and who else on there? Soulja Boy. Now, mind you, all three of them done had some gay scandals in their lives. Because you already know Omarion and Lil Fizz, you know, was all fucking in B2K. And Soulja Boy just spent about 3 or 4 minutes on Nicki Minaj's song saying, yes, bitch, yes. So, y'all want to talk about y'all don't want to have a film with no gay nigga? Come on, bitch. But anyway, that's not weird to talk about. So Rashida opens her store, and this is a very boring scene. Carly Rae comes in and doesn't be messy and tries to bear gifts and bring, you know, plug her little store and shit. And they all trying to be all happy, but nice and nasty to each other. Anyway, moving right along. Mama D and her wedding. Who I couldn't be in a family with nobody like Mama D. Mama D, the person like that would get on my nerves. She tried to, you know, first of all, she's already huffing and puffing and stressing out about the fact that her children didn't come or haven't gotten there yet. Then Jasmine does come, her daughter does come, and she's like, oh, you know, I'm here to support you, my mom, and all this blah, 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 blah. So they're like, okay, now the princess is here, but where's the prince? And, you know, Bambi's like, you know, I tried calling him, I tried doing this, you know, I was at the house getting ready, he didn't get ready, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know where he's at. And she's all crying and shit, and this, that, and the fourth. So the wedding is, she's about to go ready to walk down the aisle, and then for some reason, young Jock is asked to walk her down the aisle. I'm like, are they related somehow? Do they have some sort of connection? I'm like, why him? And oh, child, did y'all see that him and Dan KD are back together and she's sitting up there looking like Raven with her rainbow colored hair? I was like, her and Dad was up there rocking tricolors in their hair and shit. I'm like, was this filmed during Gay Pride or something? But anyway, so at the last minute, in regular Mona Scott Young fashion, here we come with Scrappy running down the street in his tux just in time. This shit look dark as fuck. Why do I feel like I'm looking... Anywho, I'm try. But yeah, he came just in time just to walk her down the aisle, and of course she's like, he made it. You know, that old dramatic ass cry, eyes dry as fuck. But so they walk her down the aisle, and they do the whole horn thing. I'm like, what era are we in, bitch? Are you trying to sound off the horn like we in the 1500s? Like, she really is taking this castle and palace thing to the whole new level. And then whoever was blowing them horns sounded a hot mess. And she even said they sounded a hot mess, but she was just gonna let it slide. So they get to the altar, they say the little vows, and Scrappy's like, you know, hold on one second. You know, I'm trying to give you my mama. I want her to be happy, but more importantly, I want her to stay the fuck out my business. And that's all we wanted from Mama D, because it seemed like she was always in Scrappy's business because she ain't had none of her own. So now that she has some consistent dick in her life, maybe she can kind of, you know, focus more on that than, you know, Bambi and their relationship. So, Jocelyn has his performance at this LGBT whatnot or doodad. Did y'all see Jocelyn dancing? Did y'all see? Why? Why was Jocelyn up there literally doing like did y'all see? She was looking hard as fuck, off beat. Now that whatever that little song she had with that new producer, that church, that actually sounds like something. That actually sounds like something that I would actually listen to willingly on my own. And of course she did Stingy with My Cootie Cat and some other nonsense song that we probably forgot about. But it was something. And she was up there crying, talking about how much this means to me, how she's bisexual, this, that, and the fourth. And my dog rolling around on my floor. But, excuse me. So Stevie J tries to pen her a letter with some roses and whatnot. And he basically saying, look, I'm going to LA without you. If you want to sit here and become this rising star in Atlanta on your own, you do that. And I'm just like, okay, Mona. Is this how you're going to try to get Stevie J and Mimi back together? Because they're going to move out to LA and Jocelyn's going to stay here? Like, are they going to join the cast of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood? Like, what are you trying to do here? If they're not going to be in Atlanta anymore, how is this going to work? You know? Where are we? Oh, and it's just this last scene with Jocelyn and Carly Red. I couldn't get their names off for a second. I really was lost at this scene. I really didn't understand what happened. Like, first of all, Jocelyn finished her performance. She was happy. And she saw the little note and roses from Stevie. She just kind of passed it along or whatever. And Carly comes to her and tells her, shit, what did she say? Girl, I didn't even write the shit down. Because what the hell did Carly say to Jocelyn? Child, I forgot. Forgive me, y'all. But the point is, Jocelyn was like, you know, Carly, oh, that's what it was. She was saying that she had found out how Stevie J was trying to take Mimi along to LA. That's what it was. And so, for some reason, Jocelyn was like, you know what, Carly? You always bring this negative and gossip into my life and this, that, and the fourth. And I'm like, but she's telling you, I feel like she's warning you that people are talking about you. But yet you turn it around and feel like she's always bringing gossip. And I didn't understand. Like, I didn't understand what Jocelyn was mad about. Like, do you not want her to tell you that other people are talking about you? Like, I mean, if that's the case, just say, hey, you know, I'm not really too much interested in what people think about me. You know, don't bring that to me no more. But for her to react the way she did, I was kind of lost and didn't understand what the hell was going on. So, and then, of course, she had to reenact the K. Michelle and Mimi smack flower thing. And then, of course, security came in and Jocelyn was sitting there trying to pretend to read the letter and ignore Carly Red. Carly Red was like, you ain't got no friends. And actually, now that Carly Red ain't fucking with Jocelyn and Stevie J done went out to LA for Jocelyn, it's like, and even when Margo was trying to be cool with you for a second, she was like, Jocelyn really ain't got nobody. So I'm going to see how Mona Scott's going to kind of try to contrive this storyline for next season. But that was the Love and Hip Hop reunion. Not the reunion, bitch. Finale. That was the finale. And I'm actually about to record Bad Girls Club. We about to go back where it started, girl. Y'all know I started my channel on Bad Girls Club season 10, and here we are, 14. So, if y'all ready to check out that video, hopefully that video should be up relatively right after this one, if not at the same time. So make sure y'all check that out, and I will see you guys next time in the next video. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.